Warm weather is back in Bowling Green, but is it going to stay around for the long haul? What to expect coming up.
And police brutality is an ongoing issue across the country. A BGSU professor tells us how he keeps track of violence by police.
Plus, BGSU's class of 2023 will be turning their tassels in a few short weeks. As students reflect on their Falcon experience, one student shares how the pandemic had a major impact.
Live from the campus of Bowling Green State University.
It was certainly nice to have some warm weather this weekend. It's certainly been a beautiful week here in Bowling Green. Welcome to BG Today. I'm Steve Iwanek.
And I'm Charlie Ryan. We'll start things off with the weather, kind of looking at what is going on out there. But, you know, Aaron May, our weather guy. Aaron, I'm having a little bit of concerns here. Are we looking at possibly having to pull those cold weather gear back out?
Yeah, it's riding that roller coaster again, as I like to do here. We're going to be up here on the peak of this roller coaster, at least through the end of this work week, and definitely today. So you can see behind me, you got people out walking around today. Absolutely gorgeous out. It's a great day to go out and sunbathe. With it being almost 84 degrees today, that low is going to dip down to about 54, but it's nice and breezy, 10 to 15 miles an hour. But tomorrow you're going to need to find a little bit more shade, as you still see those temperatures at about 84 degrees. The low is going to be down only 62, and it's not going to be as breezy, 5-10, so make sure that you go and find some shade. Now looking into our week ahead, you're going to see 84, 84. Saturday is going to be really nice at 82, perfect day for a ball game. And I say that because the weather is coming. We have a huge cold front that is going to be making its way into the Toledo area. And we'll bring a lot of rain. I expect the Mud Hens game to get canceled, and a lot of travel might be impacted. It's going to be about 66 degrees, so you have a huge drop overnight, bringing it down to 43. And then Monday, Tuesday, you see those mid-50s and lows in the mid to upper 30s. And then Wednesday, you're going to see the sun peak out a little bit as you go into the mid-60s. So as we look into the week ahead, you're going to go and take a nice hard dip in the temperature, but all in all, it'll come back in a nice spring-like conditions.
Well, you know what? As they say, you can always count on Ohio weather to give you a little bit of a whiplash there. Thanks, Aaron. The eggs have landed. New members are joining the Falcon family. Peregrine Falcons have laid eggs yet again. This is the 13th year in a row the Falcons have called Wood County their home. 4 eggs were recently spotted on the Falcon camp. Experts say the eggs take around 33 days to hatch. The first one was spotted 9 days ago. You can watch a 24/7 live stream of the nest on BGSU's website.
I hope you're gearing up for chicken tenders and quesadilla burgers, because Applebees is one step closer to coming to BG. The City of Bowling Green Zoning Board says Applebees can begin construction. The restaurant will be located on South Main Street near Home Depot and Burger King. Now, there is no word yet, though, about when construction will start. Police brutality isn't common in BG, but continues to spark discussion across the nation.
BG24's Kerrigan Stark met with a criminal justice professor who specialized in police misconduct.
Police crime is something we've seen across the nation. It's been shown in the media, but Dr. Philip Stinson says no one was keeping track of how often it really happened. He's been able to figure out how much police crime happens each year. He spoke on how often it increases.
Well, one of the things we've noticed is the static nature of it, that we see roughly the same number of arrest cases each and every year.
This is concerning to Stinson because he hasn't changed his method of using 48 Google alerts to find these cases. He says the number should be decreasing if actual reform is happening. Stinson believes this could mean police crime is on the rise.
You know, policing, from where I sit, hasn't really changed. So with all the talk about policing reforms, when I look at the problems in policing, the same problems exist now that existed when I started looking into this, 18, 20 years ago.
Stinson went more into depth on how these problems haven't gotten better.
But we're not seeing differences. We're still seeing things like Tyree Nichols in Nashville, who was killed by the police. We're still seeing, George Floyd in Minneapolis, Michael Brown back in 2014 in Ferguson, Missouri, and there are countless others.
Stinson is hopeful for a better future of policing. He explained how this reform has to start at home.
In many respects, policing is broken, but I don't think it's irreparably broken. In other words, I think we can fix it. The problem, though, is I don't know how to change it, because we've got to change the culture at the local level at those more than 18,000 agencies across the country.
With BG24, I'm Kerrigan Stark.
Experts are anticipating a drop in the high school aged population from 2025 to 2029. But why worry about this now? BG24's Taylor Kitchen shares how this impacts students.
A study done by Carleton College found that parts of the country will see a 15% decrease in the high school age population by 2025. This drop in the number of kids ready to go to college means lower enrollment, leading to potentially major changes for colleges.
It could lead to fewer choices for programs at different universities. The decrease, if it's dramatic, okay, as is predicted. And so institutions will have to make choices on what programs to offer and how they offer those programs.
Though enrollment evaluation is constant, Dr. Whitehead says BGSU recently started a process called the Program Vitality Analysis to help the university better understand the changing enrollment numbers.
We look at two parameters. One parameter is the change in retention for the program over a 3-year period. And the other parameter is enrollment in the program over a 3-year period. The point of the program vitality analysis is to understand these trends before things become critical. And so it gives opportunity to make changes to programs in order to make them more viable.
Before a program is cut, Dr. Whitehead says the university might suspend that program's enrollment. They might change how a program is offered and what is offered to make it more appealing to students. If a program is cut, Dr. Whitehead says faculty could be impacted but relocated to teach at other areas within that department. But universities are finding new ways to soften the impact of enrollment drops. With BG24, I'm Taylor Kitchen.
As seniors get ready to walk across the stage, soon-to-be graduates are reflecting on their college experience. BG24's Justin Shikatano joins us live in the studio. Justin, what are the graduating Falcons saying about the impact of COVID on their college experience?
Well, Steve, many students claim that COVID affected them both academically and mentally as well. In a poll sent out to the graduating class, over 60% of students say their grades were negatively impacted when classes shifted to online. Over 60% also said they missed out on extracurricular opportunities due to restrictions, and over 70% say their mental health and motivation suffered.
While I was struggling with my mental health and grades simultaneously, above all else, my mental health was at an all-time low. I feel that I didn't really get the true college experience.
Spring graduation is set to take place at the end of the month. Reporting live in studio for BG24, I'm Justin Shikatano.
All right, thank you so much, Justin.
April is Earth Month. BGSU is making an effort to be a greener campus. One way the marine biology department is doing this is with aquaponics. That's when you use fish farming to grow plants without soil. A BGSU marine biology professor says eliminating the soil in farming helps reduce nutrient runoff, which contributes to global warming.
Byproducts of one organism get used by another. Starting off with the fish, we feed them a standard fish food. The feces and uneaten food get collected once a day by the students and directly fed into the crayfish tank, where they will eat all of that waste. What they do is they convert the ammonia the fish are producing, which is toxic, into nitrate, which is plant fertilizer. So then the water gets pumped over to the tomatoes, the roots are directly in the water, and they are literally grabbing up all of that nitrate before the water dumps into a sump and then gets pumped in and recirculated.
The professor also says nutrient runoff contributes to the algal blooms we also see in the Great Lakes. Well, BG baseball battled the Buckeyes down in Columbus.
Coming up, how are the orange and brown fared in the in-state matchup?
And BGSU women's basketball has a new face. Where did he come from and where are they going? What is Coach Shamil's new plan for the Falcons? All that and more coming up in sports.
Welcome back to BG24 with this week's sports update. I'm Lucas Kleinmeyer. BG baseball fell last night 8-2 to the Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus. The Scarlet and Gray were too much early on, holding the Falcons' hit list for 6 innings. BG's pitching was solid throughout, having to rely on their bullpen. But in the 5th, OSU up 2-0. Here's a 2-run homer from OSU's Trey Lipsy to break things open at 4-0. Justin Fugate finally cracked the hit column for BG with a triple to lead off the 7th. Tyler Ross brought him home just at bat later with an RBI single. BG comes home this weekend for a weekend series at Seller Field against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. First pitch on Friday is at 3 p.m. Taking a look at the current MAC standings, BG is now tied for 6th with Toledo, Akron, and Miami. Miami and Akron split their weekend series last week to move them up from 7th. At the top of the standings, there has not been much movement. Ball State remains in first place with a 1-game lead over the Kent State Golden Flashes. BGSU introduced Fred Shamil as the next coach of the women's basketball program. Shamil comes to Bowling Green after 8 seasons as an assistant coach at South Carolina with the Gamecocks. He was a part of 7 Sweet 16 appearances and 2 national titles. Shamil has also been an assistant at San Diego State, Penn State, Minnesota, and the WNBA's Charlotte Sting. Now in a head coaching role, Shamil is ready to embrace the community spirit shown to him already.
The people are incredible here. Derek was telling me that from the start, like you're going to fall in love with the community. On my visit, there wasn't one person that wasn't gracious, polite, engaging, and those are the type of people I want my kids to grow up around. This team is impressive to watch. I have fun watching them. I love the way you guys play. I love the way you get up and down the floor. You disrupt defensively. They're exciting, and we're going to keep it that way.
The Toledo Blade reports that Shamil's contract goes for 5 years. His annual salary is $260,000. 3 new additions are coming to men's basketball. Head coach Todd Simon announced the hiring of 2 new assistant coach and a director of basketball operations. Bryce Martin and Laraz Naran Jr. follow Simon from Southern Utah. German Sorolovich also comes from Southern Utah. For more information, go to our website, bgfalconmedia.com. BGSU softball hosted an interactive event for Little League players this week. The Orange and Brown invited local youth softball team, the Fast Wizards, to the SIBO Center for Youth Softball Day. The event included making bracelets and signing autographs from the BG players. All the players got paired up with a Fast Wizards member. The event gave everyone a chance to share their playing experiences and give advice to the young players in their careers. That's it for sports this week as BG Baseball returns home for a Battle of the Birds against Eastern Michigan. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thank you so much, Luke.
Thanks for watching BG Today. Follow us for the latest news on Twitter at BG24TV or find us on the web at bgfalconmedia.com.
That's right, we'll be back next Thursday with updates from around Bowling Green and Wood County. Have a good afternoon.